All right, guys, in this brief video, we're gonna go through a very basic setup of the isolator. So after you've gotten everything out of the box, we kind of have the parts laying out here, and the easiest way to set it up is in the stripped down state. I like to have mine set up with the weight horn already on, and if I have an attachment that I know I'm gonna use, I can kind of leave the attachment on. It doesn't add a lot of weight, and it makes the setup go a little bit faster. So you're gonna see it just like this. It's basically just our carriage unit, so everything goes onto it from there. Now, after you've set it up and you've gotten a little bit more accustomed to using it, you can determine whether or not you want to leave some of those parts on, because it does make it a little bit faster to transition from exercises. So for instance, I'll usually leave the weight arm on. It just makes it a little bit less time to transition, and it doesn't add a lot of weight. So we'll kind of go through, and you guys, after you set it up, you can determine what works best for you. So pretty easy. First off, you just grab by the handle here. You guys are gonna have the carriage, and starting with just a single pin, set it up to the height that you wanna use it at. And you're gonna throw a pin through. That top pin is going to hold the load. You're gonna have a second pin, which is essentially just preventing it from wanting to move up and down this way or swinging off the upright. From there, we have our weight arm, and the weight horn is already on here. Pretty simple, pull it here, pull the pin, that one's latched in. Now you have the lever arm. So setting the lever arm in makes it real easy with all the hex ports. So just setting it in the hex port, and you would adjust it to whatever height you need that at. Now you have the sleeve for the attachments. So setting this up is easy there, and then you're gonna pick which attachment. So if I was doing a leg extension, leg curl, something along those lines, I would use the long pad. And again, with the hex ports, it makes it very quick and easy. It just goes right in. And if you were gonna use your multi-pad, you can toss the pad in the upper or the lower port, depending on the height that you need the pad. And you can use any of these pull pins for adjustability to set up the exercise wherever you need it to be. And once the unit is on, now we're going to apply some pressure to our pressure plates, just basically screwing these down. This is gonna remove any wiggle from the unit. So it's gonna keep it real tight, keep that muscle contraction good. So all these would be tightened down. We also have a similar idea with our counter torque screws. If I was doing leg extensions here, this would have a tendency to torque forward because the sleeve attachment has a little bit of room in it. So these allow you to tighten these down and remove that from happening as well. And the last thing that you can do is utilize our rear roller pin. So this just goes through the back of the carriage, and it allows us to go from an attachment to a semi-permanent carriage. So when you have that on there, you can pull this pin and just allow the unit to roll up and down the upright instead of pulling it off and adjusting it. So you guys can see it's pretty quick, pretty easy, and that's the basic setup.